the Brown boys, the Brown boys, the Brown boys, we the Brown boys, the Brown boys, we the Brown boys. Don Lemonade. Boy, the bidding war done started. Don, they probably riding in the jails right now. They got suits stacked up to the ceiling, bidding on if he come to the penitentiary. Don Lemon gonna be hotter than fish grease if he ever go up in there. I'm telling you right now, they gonna be bidding on Don 45, 55, 45, 55. Sold to the big old nigga that knocked everybody out last week. Don Lemonade gonna be up in that mug, sashaying around, floating that pixie dust all over the tier, and it's gonna be niggas protecting Don Lemon with everything they got. So Don, you're gonna be all right in there. You already well practiced. But he thought this was gonna be over. Don, no offense, but you thought you was above the law. And the law done picked you up. The law went around and they went to every state trying to figure out who gonna prosecute Don Lemon. And at 12 a.m. in California, they jumped up and grabbed Don Lemon. I would love to see how Don Lemon responded. Oh my goodness. TMZ, I know y'all got the video, but y'all not gonna release it because it's done. We got to do a Freedom of Information Act to get Don Lemon crying like a bitch while he getting arrested. Oh my God, I want to see it. Fuck that, get your hands off of me. You can't touch me. Oh God, y'all touching me. Oh, I kind of like this shit. Oh God, bondage. That motherfucker went from hollering to I like this shit to hollering again. Come on, Don. I would pay top dollar to see what the fuck happened while you got arrested. I ain't gonna lie. I would pay top dollar. I know he gonna get out. The entitlement, yeah, you can't do this to me. Oh shit, don't stop doing it to me. No motherfucker, you know how Don is. They probably were touching on him and shit, slamming them down, roughing them up, putting cuffs on them and shit. And then that motherfucker like, oh shit, keep doing this to me. He went from hollering to happy. Them officers was like, wait a minute, guys. We trying to arrest you. We ain't trying. Come on, back to the news story. I said professionally.
Obviously, and now.
Yeah, we are continuing to report on exactly how things got to that point of him being arrested, involving the HSI and the FBI overnight in Los Angeles. But look, the officials that I have talked to here in Minnesota have been the state officials, extremely critical of the handling of not just the ICE operation, not just the killing of Alex, Freddie, and Renee Good, but the agents' participations or the agents' activities against people just trying to document what they're doing, and that includes journalists. We have seen agents who have pushed journalists or forced them out of the scene, saying that they are impeding with law enforcement activity. There's a great deal of concern here in Minnesota, and of course across the country too, with those actions. So yesterday I sat with the prosecutor for the state of Minnesota who is overseeing the investigation into Alex Preddy's killing and Renee Good's killing, and she was very strong with her words about how the federal government is acting. She says that her investigators, the state investigators, are being excluded from the evidence and the investigation, the federal investigation into those killings. She's very concerned, calls it all unprecedented, concerned with the way that that the government is kind of conflicting with the state. And this is all, I mean, right now, what we've been covering here, this is all happening as Tom Homan showed up yesterday in Minneapolis and basically changed the tone and said that there would be a scaling back of the amount of agents that are here on the ground if the state cooperates. When you see such a high-profile journalist as Don Lemon, somebody who was an anchor for years at CNN, somebody whose face and name everybody, I mean, many people recognize in this country, being arrested while he was at a church interviewing the pastor that was being targeted by the protesters, or who the protesters showed up to protest. I think you have such a big story, you have such a big concern, such a
Never mind, I ain't gonna say nothing.
strong message about the First Amendment. That is what we're hearing from Don Lemon's attorney. We don't know what the charges are. We don't know exactly what Don Lemon's activities were inside that church. But in terms of messaging, yeah, go ahead.
Just want to interrupt you momentarily because our Nicole Skanger has just shared with us the specific charges that Mr. Lemon now faces. So we want to share with our viewers what that is. His charges include conspiracy against rights. You're seeing that on your screen, and for violating the FACE Act. Let me just explain what these charges include. On the conspiracy against rights, this statute protects against conspiracies to interfere with rights such as voting, housing, or bodily integrity. For the second charge he faces, this is the FACE Act. That's the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances. This is a charge which forbids using force, threats, or physical obstruction to stop individuals from accessing reproductive health clinics or places of worship. That sounds key. It also prohibits damaging or destroying property at these locations. So Lillian, now that we know two of the charges that Don Lemon faces, it does appear to be connected to that demonstration in a church from about 6 days ago, which a magistrate judge refused to bring charges at that time. And we know the administration has been pushing since then to appeal and find a way to make something stick. I believe you covered this when it took place a week ago. Lillian, you've been covering so much, I'm not sure, but remind us why the FACE Act itself.
I wasn't here.
Okay, but remind us why the FACE Act would be key.
I wasn't here, but the source who gave me the tip this morning, how we learned for the first time that Don Lemon had been arrested, suggested, he didn't have the warrant, but suggested that it would be connected to the FACE Act, and this seemed to be what the government was looking for. It's an interesting charge. Again, we need to, we don't have the evidence. We don't know exactly what happened, but Don Lemon and his attorney and his representatives have said he was there just interviewing the pastor, doing his job as a journalist. For all of us, it's very
that's cap. He wasn't there just doing his job as no journalist. He was there knowing that this woman was there to disrupt. The idiot played a video interviewing the lady, introducing the lady, saying that he know who she was, where she worked. He knew all of this stuff. Then she said, my organization is here to stop everyday business. So you went into this church knowing that she was going to stop the everyday function of this business, of this church. And you can't do that. And that's what he got charged with. He got charged basically because his own video, he knew all of this going into it. He should have said, no, I'm a CNN journalist. I am at this church now, knowing that this is a place of religion. I'm not going to go in here and aid you on stopping their service. So this is where I have to stop right here. I'll interview you guys when you come back out. I might interview the pastor when they step off or outside of the church, but I am not going in while they're praising and worship, because that is against the law. And I know this because I masquerade around as an educated man, and I'm on CNN, and I'm not just here to stir up and cause controversy, because as we know, that's probably what he gets paid to do, because we have now discovered that these people are getting paid to protest. $80,000 a year, this one Chinese guy get to head a foundation to protest. These people are anti-American. These people should be terrorists. You're getting paid to disrupt the American citizens' lives. That's not a peaceful protest. When you start getting paid to do something, oh no, you're getting a job, you're getting paid to stand in the middle of the street so we can't go where we want to go. No, let's label these people as what they are, and let's lock their black ass, white ass, Asian ass, whatever they are. You're going down. Don, they about to be shed. Boy, how many? Hey, look here. I'm not a chain gang dude. I didn't go to jail. Thank God. I went to jail, but I didn't go to prison. Thank God. But anybody that was in that jail, I'm not saying you did it or you would do it, but how many soups or Zuzus, Wham Wham, David Cake, cigarettes, or whatever Don Lemon to go for in there? I don't know. Don Lemon, you gotta know your worth. This for Don Lemon. What is Don Lemon value on the street market, the black market, or the streets in the chain gang? Is he worth 6 cigarette cartons? 6 oodles and noodles? Like, what this boy go for? Well, they gonna flag me again. They gonna flag me again. God, dog. Kwame, come on, dog. You said you were gonna be professional. This is my professional, though. I said comedy. When they asked me what category are you talking from, I said comedy. But every time I hit comedy, don't nobody take it as a joke. They always want to flag me and shit for harassment. So I guess my comedic style is harassing. I don't know. But hey, I'm sorry, Don. You're a public figure, so I can go a little bit further.